Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. And I know it's gentlemen because YouTube analytics tell me that it most certainly probably is. From the user comments, or some of the user comments, I'd suggest that maybe not all of the people on board are gentlemen, but most of you are, so welcome back. And I do appreciate those who have commented and those who have subscribed to the channel. It's very heartening to know that someone out there is watching what I'm doing, and most of you appreciate it, which is great. Recently I noticed that another YouTuber had taken some of my footage and uploaded it into their channel, so I wasn't sure to be angry or flattered about them doing that, especially as I did it without permission. But hey, I think I've gained some more subscribers out of it, and certainly my click rate and views went up, so I can't complain about that. The more people on board that can see this and maybe motivate some of you to get out of the garage and start doing your own things, then all the power. It's got to be a good thing. I haven't posted anything for a while, and a number of you have commented on that. There's a couple of reasons behind that, mostly involving time, money and other family commitments, not necessarily in that order. But since we are all now in this unusual period of lockdown, I'm spending more time at home and less time at work, which is good and bad. And hey, seeing that other YouTuber with my engine video on his channel sort of gave me a bit of a kick along too to pick things up and get moving again. As I've alluded to in previous videos and on my website www.squirrel.com.au, please feel go and have a look at that. I've kind of done all the things that I can do cheaply and easily and affordably, and I'm into the big end now. So engine, paint, I've got seat to get, a few other big ticket items, header pipes. So I've kind of been putting them off to last, and saving up my pennies and buying bits and pieces of Dragonfly motorcycles as I can afford them, a little bit each month, which is partly why there's been such a delay. Doesn't tell the whole story, but I'll stick with that excuse for now. Contemplating whether, before I do the major engine work, whether I clean the cases before or after. I ended up talking to a guy called Wayne Jacobson from Specialist Blasting Services in Jimboomba, which is west of Brisbane, about an hour or so from home, hour and a half from home. Had a good chat with him. He's very much a motorbike fan and a vintage fan, so we kind of talk the same language, and he recommended I do all the cleaning work on the cases and that before I send it to the engine conditioner, because it gives them a lot better surface to work with. I was a little bit worried about spending all that money getting cases blasted and everything, and from getting covered in grease and handprints and everything, but his type of blasting is a low pressure wet blasting, which doesn't, fingerprints and stuff don't mark, so the finish is way better. And this is what we're going to do today. I have some of my bits back from him. We have awesomeness. No, we have more packaging. Yeah, it goes from unveiling to unboxing. Let's have a little look. I'll put in a before and after photo, so you can see what went off to him. So I did spend a lot of time cleaning everything up, cleaning in various solvents. I've got a little small bead blaster at home, so I gave everything a basic clean down on that, and then a good wash and truck wash and hot soapy water. So he had a pretty good base to start from. But as you can see, the end product is simply stunning. You could eat your food off that, and frankly I would. It's just like it came from the factory. In fact, it's probably better. Fingerprints won't mark. If you do get grease oil on them, it's just a matter of giving it a wipe down with some shellite, and they'll come up like that. That'll probably back in focus. That'll stay that good for maybe 10 years. Primary chain case. And everything did come back carefully wrapped, which I will try and keep this wrapping because it'll be a little while before I'll be fitting them again. Or maybe not. But that is the finish we have. Again, that is just simply stunning. I cannot be happier. Isn't that beautiful? It's almost too good to turn back into an engine and get oily again. But needs must. And it's also another good motivator to keep me working. Okay, I wanted to, while we're admiring that, because we are, and I am, I wanted to address some of the user comments that the channel has been picking up. Great that you're commenting, even the dickhead ones, very much appreciated. So let's have a look at some of them that have come through, and I'll just answer a couple of the questions. Am I going to make more videos? Ta-da! Reasons above, we've been a little bit slack. But you should be seeing some more coming out again not too far away. There's a couple of questions that, or comments rather, that came back questioning, do I know what I'm doing? Probably a good question. From a background, I'm actually a diesel fuel injectioneer by trade. I've been off the tools for many years now, so I don't have access to all the specialist tools that I used to have back in the day, so I make do with what I've got. Do I know what I'm doing with this machine, the Square 4? Yeah, there's forums around, I've got workshop manuals, I've got pictures and I've got words. There's not a lot of hands-on. In fact, until you do something, you haven't done it anyway, so a lot of what I'm doing is learning on the go and working it out. There's more information out there on the internet now than there has ever been. Certainly my father wouldn't have had access to the information I have. And the original owners of this probably tinkered away in their little garages and sheds with nothing but a adjustable wrench and a cup of cold tea or something. So, do I know what I'm doing? Reasonably so, not specifically, but I'm working it out as I go. Someone else mentioned I should rehearse before I do things, especially when I can't do it. Life's not a rehearsal. Anyone else putting one of these, or any bike together that they haven't worked on, is going to be sitting there scratching their head a lot as well. That's just part of the deal. Someone mentioned about tools that have only got open-end spanners. Yes and no, I do have some ring spanners. The issue I have is I can't go down to Repco and go, I want a 516 Whitworth socket please, because spotty kid behind the counter will look at me and go, you want Woolworths? That's the supermarket down the road, we're Repco. I pick up bits and pieces when I see them, junk sales and things like that. Coming apart wasn't a big issue. Going back together, I'll be scrounging around for more sockets and things. Tools back in the day were built kind of with purpose. You can see that. The construction is a lot heavier than modern spanners. The jaws aren't going to flex like you see a lot of cheap tools do nowadays. The lengths of them were designed to be about the right torque for the particular nut that you're doing up at the time. So, while not ideal, and I'd love to have more Whitworth tools, I don't, so we do what we do with what we've got. And I'm fairly safe that these guys aren't going to damage nuts and stuff too much, most of which I'm replacing. Another commentator who questioned my knowing what I'm doing said I was wrecking pistons and stuff. Yeah and no. I didn't really have another way of getting the barrel off. I've learned a lot since then about different metals seizing in aluminium, steel and aluminium. So when I reassemble it, I'll be putting appropriate anti-seize in place to hopefully, if anyone else in the future has to do what I do, or I did, it'll be an easier job for them. I also knew from looking at the top of the pistons, not all pistons were the same. There's at least one odd one in there, so I was 80% certain I'll be replacing pistons anyway. as we'll be replacing all the parts inside the motor. One of the commenters who questioned, do I know what I'm doing, and again, fair call, also chipped in with a doozy. The two crankshafts, the front and the rear, are joined together by two coupling gears. Now they have a fibre insert in them which is supposed to dampen noise. To be honest, noise in a British motorcycle I'm not so worried about. One of the commenters suggested that if I cannot replace the damping material, that I fill this gap up with silicon sealant, and that would do the job. May well do the job, but as far as comments go, and this person was again a person who questioned if I knew what I was doing, I would be beaten to the end of the earth if I used silicon sealant on the oil side of an engine where I did my apprenticeship, where I did my mechanic training. If there's any chance at all that silicon would find its way, I mean, on the side unlikely, it's probably going to sit down here in the bottom of the casing, but there's oil holes through to the main area of the casing. If a little bit of silicon got through there, picked up by the oil pickup, blocked a pipe, seized a crank, that is terminal damage. There is no way in the world I would want to take that risk, and frankly it shudders me to think that anybody would. But anyway, that was that. Another commenter asked about the engine configuration. It took me surprised at first, but then thinking about it, probably a fair question, because these are certainly not common. You don't see them on the road every day of the week, that's for sure. To answer your question, it is a square 4-cylinder. Number 1 is the right front, number 2 right rear, number 3 left rear, number 4 left front. So in this case it would sit like that. Okay, that is it for today. A little bit excited. Next video I think we'll be putting the bottom end together. So it's going to be a trip to the engine reconditioner, do some measuring. I have got new bushes on order with Dragonfly, but they're on back order, so I don't have them yet. So I'll get them measured up. If they're within manufacturer's tolerance, they can stay there. If they're not, we'll just have to either wait for them a back order to turn up, or I'll get a local turner to milk some up. But we're starting to make progress, and I'm so excited with how this has come up with this blasting. That is so good. Once again, thank you to Wayne for specialist blasting services in Jimboomba. Love your work, and see you all next time. Thanks very much.